Assalamu alaikum. Very good evening to all of you. Uh, this is kind of a new program and new talk for all of us. My friends and I have decided to uh, pitch a new idea regarding some common issue related to children. So I was a little bit confused about selecting media content for my children. So that is why uh, I thought that instead of making it a problem, let consider it as an opportunity and so let's learn something out of it so that we can craft it in such a way that it will be a facility for others to do that. So I discuss this idea with my friends, and I'm very happy that, as always, they supported me and come to this show to talk about it. So, without any further delay, I would like to invite one of my uh, youngest friend. Her good name is uh, Lal-Ain. She is O-level student, and she is not only a student, but she is basically an uh, internationally recognized brand, ambassador of peace. And not only this, she is having her own uh, diary, YouTube diary program, that is Lal-Ain Diary, where she conducts a interview of different genius and different intellectual people from all walks of life. So let me welcome Miss Lareb in show. Welcome to show, Miss Lareb.
Thank you very much for inviting me to your show. I guess there is a voice repetition problem.
Yes. So your voice is very, you know,
My voice isn't coming clear. Is my voice
no,
coming clear?
it's, it's very high.
Okay, now is it okay?
Try to turn it down. Try to turn it down. It's very high. Turn it down. More down.
Okay, now is it okay?
Ah, much better. Much better. Okay. So, so
I think there is a problem.
mm,
Okay, don't worry, I'll fix the problem. Just give me a moment and I will
okay,
reconnect again. Okay?
okay,
I'm coming studio again. Just wait for a while, okay?
okay.
I'll be joining again.
Okay. So we have another always cooperating and very friendly couple, husband and wife. Whenever I ask them, they most of the time, spare time uh, to fulfill the commitment, and they are not only very friendly uh, folks of mine. They are very well, informed parents related to their children. They are have very good vision. So they second my thought that we should conduct one talk show related to how to select media content for children. So that is why they are here, and I am welcome the parents of Musa and their daughter Nuseha, Mr. Faisal Umer, and his wife, Miss Mehak Baloch. Assalamu alaikum. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah. very noisy, very noisy. If you could mute yourself for a while, if you mute it for a while. Yes, thank you. And the very important and very you know different type of guest, one of my student, and very genius, always thinks out of box. And he is not only medical nerd, he is not always involved in going through medical books. He's got a very different ideas and different uh, brilliant strategies related to uh, you know uh, out of medicine. He's been involved in different type of performing arts and different, uh, analysis of social media, something like this. So when I shared my idea with him, so he basically went through some research, and he's here with us to share the some guidelines and research related to this topic which we have chosen, that how we should select the media content for our children. So without any further delay, I would like to invite our future doctor, Dr. Hasan Kamal. Welcome to show, Hasan.
Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Wahid. Can you hear
Walaikum.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think there
Okay.
is a, there is a, uh, yeah, it's clear now. So,
All right.
uh, so uh, let's do it like this, that as we have decided to talk something about uh, the selection or criteria, how we select and choose the media content for children. So, would you like to highlight any good strategies or guidelines related to that?
Certainly. So I did my research, and before we start on selecting media for children, we must understand that we are right now in a world where technology is everywhere, and children will get access to it, and they will come across all sorts of media. And so when there is so much content around in the in the internet,
Hmm.
uh, it's also more and more difficult to control it. So
Hmm.
what you can do as a parent or as a guardian, you can try to do your best to control a bit
Exactly.
limited for your children.
Hmm.
So to do that, you must also be educated yourself on how on the technology that is around you. So you must
Hmm.
stay up to date with the apps, with
Exactly.
different media content such as YouTube, Netflix, the
Hmm.
television, uh, and the social media apps such as Facebook, Instagram. So
Hmm.
you must stay up to date so that you can understand what the children are using, and then you can uh, use your strategies.
Hmm.
One one strategy that is available all around are parental controls. Parental
Okay.
controls are available on apps themselves,
Hmm.
such as there is a separate app for YouTube called YouTube Kids. So
Okay.
you can, if you can download that for your child, you can set up the age that your child is, and
Hmm.
you can, there are certain features that you can turn on and off, such as do you want the child to be able to use a search bar themselves, or just
Okay.
turn that off and they can use the videos available only on the home screen.
Uh-huh.
And there are third-party apps such as there is Family Link, which is an app by Google,
Okay.
which works for Android phones. You can select certain apps which can be turned on and off, and you can
Okay.
set time limits to apps. And there are
Okay.
also third-party browser apps. That there's one recommended, such as eSafely, which you
Hmm.
can use, and likewise to that Family Link app.
Okay.
Um another important thing about media control is screen limit. You must
Hmm.
uh, make sure that your child is not spending like around 6 to 8 hours per day uh,
Okay.
because there are studies that show that if you introduce media to children at a young age and if they
Yeah.
spend more and more time to it, they are hyperstimulated, which
Yeah.
leads to attention disorders later in life.
Okay.
So you must start at an earlier age. And
Mm-hmm.
to do that, there are a lot of strategies that you can use, such
Mm-hmm.
as using the restriction settings on your phone, limiting screen time. You can
Uh,
use parental controls to do limit screen time as well.
uh-huh.
You can have your devices
Mm-hmm.
around you, such as not having a TV installed in the child's room, or not having their iPads or their phones at the dinner table. So there are a lot of strategies they can use to limit screen time for children.
Okay. Very well, yeah, very thoroughly explained by Dr. Hasan Kamal that we have not only the specific YouTube channel for kid, but we have third-party monitoring system as well. Uh, Through that, parents can keep the monitor on the students or children's search, and they can easily monitor the time uh, limitation as well, so that we can keep our child with a limited approach to the screen time, so that he or she won't have any mental issue or something related to anger in upcoming life. Thank you very much for this very brief uh, information about the selection of media, content media for children. So I'll come back to you with another, uh, you know, issue that I'm having, during the searching this media content for children. So we are going towards Lal-Ain again. Lal-Ain, thank you very much. Hopefully your this sound system is quite well now. So my question to Lal-Ain, that how often you use uh, you know media content to complete your assignment and to complete your given homework from your school?
So, like you're asking me, like how often am I advised to search for
Yeah.
my assignments?
Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, I'd like to tell you that your question has two
Hmm.
parts: before the
Okay.
pandemic and after the pandemic. Like
Yeah.
before the pandemic, our schools didn't use online classes and online assignments. They
Uh-huh.
usually and mostly gave us paperwork and mostly preferred books for reading.
Okay.
But as you can see, after the pandemic, there
Hmm.
is classes and there are assignments and many websites that you can learn from.
Okay.
So that would be the different, and I would say that if you
Hmm.
ask me that how often am I advised, if you ask me
Okay.
how am I often advised for searching
Hmm.
for my assignments, then I would say only sometimes, because
Okay.
I know when my teacher has gave me the assignment and I complete it, and I
Hmm.
complete the assignment before anyone would say to me that you have to research on it.
Okay. So that is very important that there is a two very clear-cut distinguished differences that before COVID and after COVID. So after COVID, I totally agree with you that there is a more online classes, uh, more online, work, despite of all this, social distancing and, uh, you know, uh, less gathering. So we most of the time, complete our, work online. So that is why the time duration on screen is increased because of COVID. Okay,
Yes.
so we have, thank you, Lalain, for this detailed, uh, your issue and your concern about the media content and the screen time. Uh, Mr. Faisal and Miss Mehak joined again. So let us welcome them again with good uh, sound effect. at the moment. Yeah, so I can hear you, Faisal. Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. So uh, we were talking about the different issues related to uh, media content search. So, Dr. Hasan Kamal shared that there is a YouTube channel for kids specifically, and there is a third party monitoring system is available through Google, and you can even monitor screen time of your child by using that third party venture with Google different software. He mentioned the name, but I don't remember actually the term he used. So that is why I'm telling you that this is what the Dr. Hassan told us about it. And the second thing which I asked Lal-Ain regarding her, homework assignments. So she distributed in different categories than before COVID. She was having some limited time to spend on online media content search, but after COVID there is more time and more involvement of uh, online media contents. So there is must be some sound problem with the both of you, so you can take part as good observer of the show. So second question is again my second question is to Dr. Hassan Kamal again, that you mentioned that there is a need of monitoring time or screen time of your child. So would you like to elaborate it little bit more so that viewer can get to know how can they monitor their child time, especially the screen time I'm talking about. Ji Hassan, please.
Okay, so as I mentioned that there were certain measures you can take to monitor screen time. One is to use parental controls,
Mhm.
where you can check which apps specifically your child is spending the most time on, where they'll show the percentages and the amount of hours the child spends the time on the app on, and and by that you can understand that where the problem lies, and you can educate yourself by using like checking the app on like what do they use it for, specifically schoolwork, or is it mostly for social media. And if it is for social media, you can ask, like you can communicate with the child on how it is not healthy to spend so much time on that specific app. Moreover, as I mentioned before, YouTube is there's a separate YouTube Kids app, but if there are certain media which is not available on YouTube Kids, and the child wants to use the normal YouTube app, they can
Mhm.
also, there's a restrictive mode on YouTube which you
Okay.
can apply so that certain content which is inappropriate can be removed. And
Mhm.
YouTube needs a Google, sign in with your Google account. So if you sign in with your own Google account, you can access the YouTube's app and you can check their YouTube history to see
Okay.
what they're watching and what they're not watching.
Mhm.
Other than that, just to limit screen time itself, uh, as I mentioned before, there are certain measures you can take, such as not having TVs in a child's bedroom in the first place, having their video game consoles in a public space, such as the lounge, where you can like see what your child is playing, and you can check out the game's ratings if it's appropriate for the child.
Okay.
Um, Other than that, you can have some ground rules for
Mhm.
your child, such as no screen time during dinner time, or there's a specific time of the day, such as an hour after dinner or hour before, or where there'll be no screen time. It's just just like a family gathering where they do some group activity. So try to limit themselves as much as possible from their screens.
Mhm.
Um, Other than that, you must make them justify their use of this their use of their screen time.
Okay.
So make them understand, is it necessary to spend so many hours when you can utilize that time doing other activities?
Exactly. So I totally agree with you, Hassan, that if we uh, instead of stopping the child to not to do that, if we give them an understanding that having a physical activity has another very important value in your life. So spare some time for your physical activity instead of sitting in front of screen and watching different type of curricular and extracurricular uh, content. So totally agree with you that we need to educate the child regarding the importance of study online, searching content online, and there is a very good value of physical activity to keep him or herself fit, uh, just to avoid any other mental or sleep problem or aggression problem, something like this. So come to you again, Miss Lal-Ain Anees, that being in social media fraternity, you've been running your own channel where you conduct different celebrities, different intellectuals interview from all walks of life. So, what do you say if I ask you that I want to know that how can we make uh, local content for our children's leisure time, just like we used to have uh, Sare Dost Hamare, Kalyan, Anak Wala Jin, something like this. So, would you like to share any brilliant idea that how can the local, content be available in the social media, or how can we produce, or how can we, create new idea related to this? Ji Alan.
Okay, so I think that Pakistani social media fraternities should step forward to create good media for children, like good media content for children. But firstly, let me tell you, as a teen, as a youngster, that the Pakistani social media doesn't have quality content for
Mhm.
children. Mostly it is entertainment
Mhm.
based rather than being information
Exactly.
based. Like, so I totally agree that social media in fraternity should look forward it. I think about it that kids and youngsters are using social media more than 80% as they were using before pandemic.
Mhm.
As you know that the habit of book reading is becoming less day by day. If you provide good content about history or geography, then children will utilize their screen time effectively. Like, as I have seen so many websites, like there are many websites that we could use to gain information from, rather than watching YouTube and videos.
Mhm.
So the good material that I found myself and all of the content is not about school subjects, neither entertainment. It's about information. It's about developing skills. It's about socialization, and I must say that the youngsters need skills. And I must say that at this point, educational institutions are lacking. So the content Pakistani social media should step forward, should be like skill based, so that we can learn more about like different skills, and we youngsters and teens need it. And as you've asked, that I also have my own page where I conduct interviews and
Yeah.
with my experience about it. So yeah, I conduct my interviews on a page named Lal-Ain's Diary, where I have
Mhm.
conducted many interviews of national and international personalities. And being an interviewer isn't a really pretty easy task, because you make like many mistakes, and you
Yeah.
have to learn from your mistakes. And when you learn from your mistakes, that is what you call an experience from your mistakes. And yeah, I also did many mistakes when I was a beginner in this whole interviewing world, and I also did many mistakes. And for me, social media has been, very helpful for developing my confidence level and improving my communication and my language skills. And that's how I developed my confidence level in front of the camera.
That's very wonderful because I've met Lal-Ain, I think, few days ago, and I suggested her that there is a specific program I'm going to arrange specifically for children, and we have one of our, medical student with us, and would you like to join us? So she, without any delay, she accepted my invitation, and uh, today she's here and advising us very good ideas. One more thing that is related to homemakers, that is brilliant mothers. So brilliant mothers can uh, step forward and think of making some storytelling type videos. You can consider me that I've just started doing all this social media thing in the COVID specifically, because I was thinking that running something in social media, you are supposed to be skilled, you are supposed to be learn something before starting anything. So then I met one of my friend. He said that whatever you uh, you know enjoy doing, just do it. And then I started educating my diabetes patient online, and that is marvelous. And then I found one problem, that is searching media content for my children. So I thought, instead of considering it as a problem, so let's take it as an opportunity to learn, and with all of you brilliant people, craft it in a way that it will eventually convert into a good facility for other. So out of this discussion, we have concluded that there is a particular guidelines available for children media content. There is particular time monitoring available, and according to Dr. Hassan, we can educate our children related to pros and cons of social media uses. And one thing which I wanted to ask about, to Miss Mehak and Faisal, that being a very brilliant mother and very, you know, energetic wife and very good caring lady, uh, just convey this message to all homemaker mothers, that try to do something related to storytelling, related to anything, which you think that is important for your children. So I think
Yes.
that is how we will be able to do something. If there is a no if there is an improvement of sound, we can have a little conversation with you. So
There
you
is an
Faisal,
improvement.
yeah, yes, Faisal. So being father and Mehak being mother,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
what difficulty most of the time you uh, find while educating your children
I
online?
I agree with Doctor that monitoring is the key. We can't screen every episode on the TV, or we can't screen every YouTube episode of the cartoon or every game on and every stage. So I think monitoring, yes, monitoring is the key, and they're like we are like very well aware of the third monitoring tools, and I have specifically downloaded YouTube Kids for my son. But yes, I agree with Dr. Hassan that a lot of times he's told me that he doesn't want to watch YouTube Kids anymore
Yeah.
and he wants to watch YouTube. So
Hmm.
obviously, I'd had to put a restriction on my YouTube account, for him to watch. And there are a lot of, groups. I think one of my husband's friend is running the homeschooling.
Okay.
She does a lot of online content, and not related to our culture. There are many websites by the US charity organizations. I have
Hmm.
seen a lot of women brilliantly and very nicely doing storytelling sessions. And
Hmm.
my son watches those stories, and they're really really good. Like, it's very interesting to watch them tell the, read out the book. It is very, very interesting.
Can you name that channel for us so that the viewer
Uh,
can
I actually
benefit
do
from?
not remember. I have that saved on my, phone because it
Okay.
was forwarded to us by his school.
Actually,
Okay.
there is this another school, Ivy,
Yeah, IB school in
Ivy
Karachi.
School in Karachi, and
Yeah,
Aliyah Hashim, she's the principal of that. She's also a friend.
yeah.
So
Okay.
basically, what she does is she does these storytelling sessions, and they are basically just like the American and the British storytellers, but she takes up stories which are more aligned with our culture. And
Okay.
basically, the schools also, you see, they are adapting.
Hmm.
Michael goes to Newlands, Beacon
We
House Newlands,
Yeah,
and
he was recently given an
yeah.
assignment, and we made
Okay.
this story at the end of COVID-19. So
Okay.
this is the dinosaur which was found in Balochistan. It's
Uh-huh.
Balochitherium. So he
Okay.
loves, talking about dinosaurs. So he created this
Okay.
story, and it was like really, an amazing and exciting experience for us too, as parents
Uh-huh.
during the lockdown. By the way. That wasn't an online assignment.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yes, a lot of schools are doing that too. But
Hmm.
yeah, finding like like as a new parent, you find it really hard. My son is 9 years old, mashallah now. So
Hmm.
I have a lot of friends whom I talk to, and then they advise me. And then there is a group of parents on school websites and school WhatsApp groups as well. They advise as well. But yeah, as a new parent, it is really hard for you to
Hmm.
find media content, online, which is as per our culture and as per the age needs.
If you guys remember that we used to have, cassette kahanis at our
Yeah.
time,
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
and cassette kahani number one, cassette kahani number
कहानी ना
three,
तो
then three cassette kahanis. So,
इससे
like, and those, the idea behind those were whoever created those,
I think
it was
uh,
the for
Khalid Anam
kids to
did
think.
that. Yeah. Khalid Anam.
Yes, Khalid
It was
Anam and
Khalid Anam.
Khalid Anam and Arshad Mahmood also used to be there.
Arshad
Arshad
Mahmood.
Mahmood
Yeah.
sahab,
The good
the
musician.
music. So, these brilliant people, they used to create those stories so that people, the kids can actually visualize those in their,
Yeah.
and think about those, recreate those images,
Images in their mind,
Hmm.
and
yeah.
that's what generated curiosity and creativity in them. So,
Yeah.
this is what this generation is lacking, because everything has been prepared into
And has
an
been made.
ad, a cartoon or something, or an app, and it has been handed to them.
Hmm.
So whenever you think, if somebody hands down and says it's a flying car to my
Hmm.
generation, we would think of something totally different, and these guys,
Yeah.
they would have a definitive flying
Hmm.
car,
Yeah, fit in a
Uh-huh.
box.
because that has been handed over to them.
Yeah,
This is how they
Yeah.
imagine stuff.
yeah,
So the idea is to let the kid think, and
Yeah.
don't not hand him the entire pieces of the puzzle. Give
Hmm.
him some pieces of the puzzle, let his creativity come out, and let him come out with a beautiful thing, and every child would come out with a totally brilliant thing, and
Yeah.
totally different.
Totally.
So,
Yeah. Totally.
leave him there, leave
Hmm.
him or her there, with that. So that finished, that unfinished piece of puzzle. That's what
Yeah.
our idea is.
Yeah. So that's how, Baba type people, think that there is that
Exactly.
is, I totally agree with you that I'm, trying to, increase the imaginative power of my children, the
True.
imagination has got more value. So if you imaginate anything, you'll be able to, write something. You will have some curiosity of kind of anything,
yeah,
whatever you are talking about. So I would always, encourage people to come forward. So make some sort of content. And Faisal, the sky is limit. Just whatever you said, and
Exactly.
just right now, just have phone and make something like this. Cassette kahani, I'm missing a lot.
Exactly.
Cassette kahani. There is Hassan and Lal-Ain. There is a time when we have, you know, uh, hymning session by Suhail Rana. That is Sare Dost Hamare. This is very,
Exactly.
whole
Yeah.
thing. So I don't want to get bored Hassan and Lahan through this conversation. So it's a good thing that what I've learned through this session, that whatever we face, just try to change the perception, and you will be able to craft new thing out of it. So that is how I,
Exactly.
yeah, that is how I ask you, very friendly and very cooperative people to come with me and have chat about this media content
Thank
thing.
you so much for having
So
us, Doctor.
uh, so, uh, hoping to see you again, and very well wishes to Lal-Ain. And there is no question about Hasan Kamal. He is phenomenal. I don't know much about the technical terms he's been into related to uh, different type of you know uh, computer high tech. But one thing which I know, that he thinks out of the box. He not keep himself in a way that I'm just the medical student and I don't know much about the rest of the world. So he's exploring. So God bless you, Hasan Kamal and Lal-Ain and Faisal and Mehak, always there for me. Thank you very much for that, and pyar to your kids as well. And that's how we conclude our session, that for media content we have each and everything available. There is a lack of insight. Have insight and go for it. You will have a time monitoring system. You have a specific kids channel available. You will be able to search for cassette kahani. You will be able to demarcate between the leisure material content, or the academic, or learning contents. So that is how we learn. And I would expect that this session would be a kind of whistleblower for others. So go ahead and do something. There is an area totally vacant. We can do a lot, and we can do wonders. And I'm very impressed to knowing Lal-Ain and Hassan's work. So God bless you all. Thank you very much, and very very happy Independence Day. Thank you very
Same.
much.
Independence
Happy
Day. Happy
Independence
Independence
Day.
Day.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank
Independence
you.
Day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay.
Thank you.